What is going on, guys? Welcome to Stock Talk with Nico Kritikos. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Uber stock because some big news came out and now investors are selling off the stock. Stock's down over 10% today because it looks like there are fears in the robotaxi industry that Waymo is expanding its robotaxi service to Miami, and it doesn't look like they are willing to include Uber in their deals anymore because, as we're going to talk about here in a minute, Waymo and Uber have been working together in several cities for their autonomous taxi service, but it looks like they're kind of Waymo's trying to get away from that to be more independent. So we have the Alphabet owned Miami next year, and then its plans are to offer the robotaxi service in 2026. Cisco, Los Angeles, Austin, and Atlanta, right? Now, bigger than Lyft, Uber, I think they have a more powerful. I think this is a potential threat to Uber's business in the short term, but I kind of think that they are going to find a way to work around this. They're not totally cutting out the self-driving vehicle thing as a service or as a business model. They are looking to implement that into their current business. Then we have, okay, Elon Musk is coming out with the Tesla version. So Waymo and Uber have partnered in several markets. In Phoenix, Waymo's robotaxis are available through the Uber app along with the Waymo One app. Now, next year it says Waymo will expand to Austin and Atlanta with its vehicles exclusively available through the Uber app, which was announced in September. But that sounds a lot different than the news that is coming out today because it looks like managing partner at Deepwater Asset Management wrote that the latest Waymo announcement is they're laying the groundwork to cut out Uber, right? Waymo gets some of its riders through the Uber partnership and some through the Waymo app. But the press release highlighted that Miami will be available through the Waymo One app with no mention of Uber because they're trying to become more independent so they can make more money and all that. But Uber, so Uber's app powered nearly 3 billion rides, and it looks like they are more than willing to partner with some of these other companies to pretty much help them both out because then it's kind of a win-win scenario and Uber doesn't get totally eliminated and they can stay in business. Then we have Lyft last month announced its AV focused partnership, including technology developer Mobileye, right? Wall Street analysts have generally taken the view that robotaxis are still far from reaching a significant scale. Keep that in mind. There's going to be lots of obstacles and problems to solve along the way of pretty much a mass adoption of people using self-driving vehicles as a norm. And there's not going to be any humans driving the car, so this is probably going to take a couple years to get it to a mass scale. But that is the main situation here now. So the stock price is down to $64 a share, right? And it's still dropping. It's probably going to go even lower than that in the next couple of days. But if we are looking at this company's valuation, what the numbers are expected to be, we can see that typically like the last 2 years or so, even the last year, we can see that it's been all over the place. It's been a very expensive month or so. It's been about 35 to 40 times, right? So let's say it keeps trading at roughly 35 times. And I mean, now it's going to be trading cheaper because there's actually more fear out there. But if it's 87 in earnings, which puts the stock at $63, that's where we're at right now. But for next year, if they do $2.31, which they should, then we're looking at an $81 stock, right? So there's some potential for it to move. But that is only if investors are expecting growth in this stock. And if these competitive threats are making it look like Uber's not going to be able to stand a chance and that people are going to take market share away from Uber, then I don't know about a 35 times earnings valuation. We might be looking at more like 25 times earnings. But how I said, Uber has a very powerful network. They have the name brand, they have lots of connections, and people think of Uber pretty much as soon as they need a ride somewhere. Lyft is kind of the second thought, I feel like, for most people. And even for taxis, it's the same thing. So I think what's more realistic is that Uber does partner with one of these other self-driving companies, and Uber is just another player in the space with Tesla self-driving vehicles and the Waymo robotaxis, all these different ones. I think Uber probably will lose some market share. I do think that. But you can also look at it like Uber's probably going to make, they're probably going to have higher margins because they're not paying out drivers anymore, right? That's the thing. So that's actually going to be a bullish catalyst for the stock, really, is if their profit margins are higher. And I don't know if I'd buy the stock right now today, but if the stock fell for the next couple trading days and the stock we're looking at a $55 stock or something like that, well, then it's going to be interesting. Then a lot of bad news is priced in, and I think there's a good chance that the company turns around. So this is going to be one that I'll keep an eye on. But at the moment, I'm not buying any shares. So let me know what you guys think down below. I will see you in the next video.